We're coming for you, British fist! Jive turkeys. Welcome to the first of many, many, many more to come OTRSCentral Q&As.
We gotta beat 8,000.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to 9 or 10,000 of these mother humpers. Thanks to all of you so far that have submitted your questions to us, so that way we had content for these Q&A videos. And Mikey, how do they get their questions read by us and answered on air?
On Twitter, you send them to Off the Rope Show. The link will be down there.
Do it. It's easy. If you don't have a Twitter, just sign up. It's easy.
It's free.
Yes. So be part of the cool crowd, if you will. You ready?
Yeah, let's jump into this. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. So we're going to have to get back in the
long.
flow. Yes. All right. Enough. At S_Steiner2 asks, are there any wrestlers that you would consider blue chipper? By blue chipper, we'd assume the total package or can't miss prospect. What say you?
Roman Reigns.
Why?
He's a big guy who's got the look. He looks kind of unique. He can talk, and he can wrestle. He's a guy that's got like that total package and can go out there. He kind of looks like a main event CM Punk.
You know, I look at Roman Reigns and I see a guy that for sure has two things you can't coach or teach. That's height and decent size.
Yes.
The ladies love him. He's definitely got blue chip ability. I still think Alex Riley is a blue chip talent, even though the WWE doesn't seem to see it that way. This is a guy that does, to me, have a personality, does have charisma, can talk on the mic, does have a big enough main event look. It's frustrating. But I will also go with a blue chipper in a different way, Dean Ambrose. I look at this guy, when I think of a guy that even if you try to screw him up, you can't, he'll still become a main event star. I say Dean Ambrose as much as anybody in the company right now. At Sangam61, what's your favorite finisher of all time?
HBK, the super kick.
You love you some sweet chin music. I'll go a little outside of the box. You might think it's the big boot and the leg drop. You might think it's the tombstone pile driver. But my favorite pure finisher to watch is whenever Petey Williams would hit that Canadian Destroyer. Fucking incredible.
It's not the RKO.
That it isn't. What's the next question?
JV.
Could be Javi.
Yeah. Artebro.
Yep.
From 5 to 1, classify who sucks the most. Jeff Jarrett, Randy Orton, Bart Gunn, Crush, Dino Bravo.
Woo! You know what? You guys are going to be surprised. I'll put number 5 on the list, Randy Orton. To me, clearly the best talent out of those 5. I'll put my personal feelings aside. Funny thing is, the more I hate Orton, the better it's been for the show in the past. But he's 5. I'm going to go Bart Gunn number 3. I'll say Crush number 4. Tony hates Crush. I don't hate Crush that much. Bart Gunn was bad, but he's only number 3. Dino Bravo or Jeff Jarrett? Tie for number 1.
I agree with you, but I put Dino Bravo as number 1.
Fair enough.
I don't hate Jeff Jarrett that much.
At Mr. Guy Manbro, nice name. Besides Ziggler, who do you think is going to step up and show signs of becoming a big star?
Ziggler's showing signs of stepping up and being the big star. He's had the money in the bank briefcase for how long now, and teases I'm going to cash it in, and isn't involved in the World Heavyweight title shot like anywhere.
Yeah, in fact, we didn't even see him on Raw this week.
And usually when we see him, he's losing.
You know, I look at Ziggler, I know you asked for others, but there are attributes you could point to that maybe if they were better tailored to his strengths.
Quit attaching him with women.
You know, like I talked about before in a video, making him that Barney type of character from How I Met Your Mother that, you know, is kind of that ladies' man that just the crazy guy that says all the shit that
that's
gets
a
the fuck over.
trendsetter.
Yeah, and I don't think the way they book him necessarily suits the talents of the actor, performer, the wrestler, whatever you want to call him. So I don't think it's a guarantee that he becomes a big star. Could he? I do think he could.
I think he could. It's just not currently.
Yeah, it's all about utilization and accentuating the positives and masking.
And really, how can we say who's going to? Because WWE hasn't really built a main eventer in a long time.
Who do you think is going to step up, though, and show signs of becoming a big star? I think Ryback has shown some signs potentially. You know, the Goldberg chants, they still happen, but they're fading out. They're coming quicker, but lasting less time. You're getting him getting Feed Me More chants when he's kicking people in the corner.
I think Sandow.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely.
He was on a good movement. They teamed him up with Cody, and that started to work, and then they broke that up. So
I'm not a huge fan of the Shield or the Recyclables gimmick, but I like each of the three guys in the group, and I think each of those three guys has one or two things that you look at and say, you know, to differing levels, this guy can become a star, this guy can become a star, this guy can become a star. So there are guys that show it, but like you said, so much is utilization. What's the next question?
Shaddell and Smith. If WWE booked Brad Maddox versus Honey Boo Boo and Mama June at WrestleMania 29, who would you root for?
God, really? See, here's the thing, though. Pitting Brad Maddox against Honey Boo Boo and Mama June is like putting matter versus antimatter. Here's an idea. How about you combine forces and you make Honey Beef Mode with Mama June as their manager? What?
How about you put Snooki in the match, too? I mean, if we're just wasting
Well,
time
somebody's got to do the job for these guys, because clearly Brad Maddox isn't doing the job.
Clearly, and all those
Honey Boo Boo isn't doing the job.
Maybe we should put Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan in there, too.
Well, they can have some drugs, and Honey Beef Mode can be victorious. I don't care. But if they ever did, it would be a shame, because they should be united, not divided.
Let's be honest,
but the fans would still win.
Let's be honest, though. Brad Maddox should be facing The Rock at WrestleMania for the belt.
Should already have the belt from him.
True.
Yes. Thank you, Shade Allen Smith, for that question. This is DJTK. Now that Bruno's going into the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, he's the most deserving superstar that hadn't been in. Your thoughts?
I completely agree, but it wasn't really the WWE that was holding back Bruno. It was Bruno holding back Bruno.
Well, yeah, but that's not necessarily. He didn't really reference that necessarily.
Right.
But I'm not disagreeing with you. Bruno was the biggest reason Bruno wasn't in the Hall of Fame, and it's great to see they could come together long enough to make this happen.
Exactly.
It's one of the things I'm looking forward to most on this road to WrestleMania.
I mean, sure, there's other guys that I wish were going in.
Yeah. Obviously.
Macho Man.
He would probably be the biggest star, if you will, that isn't in. Although, you could point to guys from the way, way past, people such as Lou Thesz and of that that aren't in either. And I'd like to see a Lou Thesz be recognized, because he had such a huge impact both as a world champion and as a trainer. But Bruno, it's great to see him go in, and I can't wait to see it happen at WrestleMania weekend. Chris, 912-91068. What would you improve in the Divas division with their skills and characters?
I would stop hiring skinny little models and hire some girls that could actually wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go with the eye candy thing, then get real eye candy.
Yeah, get girls that I actually would want to bang.
Yeah, it was one of the Highlanders said something before about none of the girls really had a wow factor to them. I think Layla has some wow factor to her, but I get what he's saying. Doesn't have that Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson,
shit, even Mickey
Trish
James.
Stratus. Even Mickey James to a lesser degree. They don't have that wow factor to them. Otherwise, if you're talking about bringing in girls that actually can wrestle, how about putting them in feuds that actually get TV time, are treated seriously? These girls get matches that go more than 2 minutes, so that way they have a chance to showcase, a chance to get over, give us unique, differing characters.
Most of these girls
maybe have a female faction.
Most of these girls just look like girls that are at the club on a Friday night. Who cares?
And the WWE, quite frankly, treats them like they don't care, and that we shouldn't care. So that would be the first and most important thing I would do to help the division. What's the next question?
At TN Heel, hey Schleg Daddy, could you give us your thoughts on North Korea?
I'll keep this short. You know this too. Every few years you'll get some type of saber rattling about, oh, Iraq's got WMDs, Iran's got WMDs. Now North Korea is the big one where you pump up fear. And I would hope that American citizens would finally be smart enough to learn their damn lessons and realize that this is just more fear-mongering and saber-rattling, because let's face it, For all the countries that hate the United States and all the other countries of the world that have nukes, who's the only country that's ever actually used nukes in a war and did it twice in a span of a few short days? Who was this country?
Yeah. And let's be honest here. If one country fired off nukes, another country's going to fire them off. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, even if North Korea got one lucky shot in, which it would be a lucky shot, it's just saber-rattling to try and get mad about the sanctions. Maybe at some point in time I could propose that the best way to know what your enemy is doing is to become friends with your enemy and, actually communicate with them and talk to them. I think that's been a major failure in U.S. foreign policy when it comes to countries like Venezuela, Iran, obviously North Korea. Cuba, why does it hurt to talk to these guys, to have some type of relationship? Maybe you can lead by example and you help change things. North Korea is not going to fire one on us, and anybody that believes that is stupid. And they know that too, because they know if they fired one, we'd have 100 and they would all be gone. Dreamboy899. Hey.
He's alive.
Yeah, apparently. What are your thoughts on Undertaker possibly not working at WrestleMania this year?
It's sad, but the guy's getting up there in age. If he wants to take a year off, I have no problem with that.
There's something to saying that keeping the streak at 20-0, and that was supposed to be an end of an era match.
Mm-hmm.
I would be just fine if Taker rode off into the sunset and he never wrestled again.
Yeah.
I would love to see him work 5 more WrestleManias and get to 25-0. But if he doesn't, it would stink.
It sucks that we never got Cena versus Undertaker. I'm sorry. It's a match that company is going to look back on and go, well, we fucked up on that.
Yeah, and that's the truth of the matter. But, I hope he does end up working it, because I think it would be a great spot to put somebody like a CM Punk in if that's the direction they decided to go. But if he doesn't, I can't be mad at him. He doesn't owe it to anybody to have to come back and work at WrestleMania. As much as I love Taker, he can do whatever he wants as far as I'm concerned. And last question comes from @Jordan Who do you guys think should sing the national anthem at WrestleMania 29?
Coolio.
As a warm-up act? Honey Boo Boo, Mama June, and Uncle Pudo. And maybe Sugar Bear can sing America the Beautiful. Yes, really. WrestleMania needs to be about Honey Boo Boo.
She already has her own show on TLC.
Well, she could take over WrestleMania too. It would be tremendous. Stupendous.
How about this? They do a special Honey Boo Boo pay-per-view episode. See if people fucking buy it, and then we base it on that.
And then what happens when it gets like the best buy rates ever? You have nothing to say.
I'm not chipping in on that shit, I'll tell you that.
I'll pay full price for it. I don't care. And deep down you'd stream that crap too. Anyways, so that's it for this Q&A episode. Like I said, we're going to do lots and lots more. We've got a lot of catching up to do with the British Fist. If you want your questions answered in a future OTRS Central Q&A episode, what do they need to do, Mike?
You need to send it to the Twitter down below.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you in a couple of days with another one of these.
Yep.